Hello friends, welcome to this lecture of Excel training. Today in this lecture we will be learning few things about the Excel's math functions. Now basically Excel's packed with dozens of mathematical functions, and some of these functions are specialized for people like engineers, statisticians, while others are very useful for even now even for our day-to-day functions. There are a lot of functions which we can use in our day-to-day life while dealing with Excel. Now this is the list of the topics which we will be covering over here in this lecture. Fairly a big list, so I'm not going through it as of now. You can just have a look at it, and let me just start directly with the lecture. Okay, now the first thing which we'll be learning today over here is the count function. We'll learn how to count, and for counting we'll be using basically three functions: count, count A, and count blank. You will wonder why these three different functions. So let me just show you. Now basically the count function, so basically the count function, it counts only the numbers in a particular list. Okay, so count, our result is 3, so that means 1, 2, 3. There are 3 numbers, so count function, it just counts the numbers in a particular list. Count A, the result is 6. It basically counts both the numbers as well as the text. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it basically counts both the text as well as the numbers. Count blank, the result is 3. It basically counts the blank cell in a particular data range, like 1, 2, 3. Let me just show you how to do these things. So the first thing, equal to, so that the Excel goes into the enter mode. You can see over here it's enter mode, COUN. As soon as you will press COU, you will get a list of functions which starts with COU. Just go to your desired function, like which is in this case is count, and then just press tab key, then select the data. Okay, so let me just again explain you. Count function, it basically counts only the numbers in a particular data range. Like if I press F2, so in this data range it counts only the numbers. So 1, 2, 3. That is why 3 is the result. What count A does, it calculates, or it adds up, or it counts. Basically it counts the text as well as number data in a particular range. So there are around 6 entries, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is why the result is 6, because out of the 6, 3 are numbers and 3 are text entries. Count blank, basically it counts number of blank cells in a particular data range. Like there are 3 blank cells, 1, 2, 3, and that is why the result is like this. What we have done over here, we have used the count blank function of this data range I3 and J3. Result is 8 because there are 8 blank cells over here. You can have a look. So this was regarding the Excel's counting function. Now the next subtopic which we'll be dealing with today is round function. So rounding. So this is the number, this is the raw data which we have in the first column. This is the formula which we have been used in different cases, and this is the result, and we have also given the description. So we'll just rush through this, and if you're not able to understand any of the stuff, first you just have a look at the description, and still if you are having any difficulty, you can again get back to us on our email ID neve.training@gmail.com. Okay. Now suppose if this is the number you have and you use the round function. So let me just show you. equal to, sorry, ROU. So you have a complete list of, basically there are three round functions: round, round down and round up. So we'll learn about all these three today and some more rounding functions as well. Now suppose if this is the data you have, okay, now basically the round function, it has two arguments. First is the number and second one is the num digits, which is also called as the number of digits you want to keep to the right of the decimal point. Okay, how many numbers you want to keep to the right of the decimal point. Now in this case we have done round A5, which is this cell, and comma 2. So to the right of the decimal we want 2 entries. So that is why the result is like 10.99. Result should have been 10.98, but because 7 is greater than 5, that is why it has rounded this 8 to the next higher digit, that is 9. Okay, now suppose, imagine if instead of this 2, which is being a positive number, if you use -1 or -2, what it does, basically the negative number, basically it rounds the number, our given number, to the nearest 10, 100 or 1000 by using negative numbers as the second argument. Now suppose if this is the data you have, 231.65, if you use round A6 -1, so this number will be rounded to 230. Okay, and if you use -2 as the second argument, it will round this thing to 200. So to the left side of the decimal it will be rounded. So this 231 will become 200. And instead of what we say negative number, if you use 0, then Excel rounds the number to the nearest whole number. Like in this case 121.87, the nearest whole number is 122. Now this was regarding the round function. Now when we talk about the round down function, so the data which we have is 12.669. If you round down it, okay, so again how we do it, it's quite simple. Round down the number, comma 1, enter. So result is 12.6. So basically it rounds down the result. Round up function, it basically rounds up the result. When we use, there's also one more rounding function like called as m round. So basically m round, it rounds the number to the nearest multiple. Like in this case we have used 5 as the argument, so that is why it is rounding the number to the nearest multiple of 5. Now let's say equal to m round. If we give 10 as the multiple, it will round to the nearest multiple of 10, that which is 10. Now suppose if instead of this the number is maybe 18, nearest multiple of 10 will be 20. Okay, so this is the way m round function is being used. Now suppose if this is the data which we have, 19.6789, and if we require maybe for some operation only the integer part, because in this number it is integer as well as decimal numbers are combined together. So integer portion of this number will be 19. So for that you have to use int function. Now there is one more function in Excel, floor and ceiling. So first let me explain what is floor. Suppose this is the number, and if you use the formula floor A13, 3, so basically it rounds the number to the nearest multiple of 3, but it rounds it downwards. And in this case, like ceiling function, like we have used 5 as the second argument, so that is why it rounds the number to the nearest multiple of 5. Now many of you will say, what is the requirement of all these round and this floor and ceiling function? Now let's assume a resort is there, and what they do, they basically give the resort on rent minimum for a period of 7 days. Okay, Now suppose if there are customers who will stay for 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, even they have to pay charge meant for 7 days. Okay, now let's assume this is the number of days on which people person 1, in the same way maybe person 2, person 3, they stayed in that hotel. This is the number of days for which they stayed in the hotel. Now as we said that minimum 7 days charge applicable. Okay, per day charge maybe $100. Okay, so days, actual number of days stayed is this much. So for billing days will be how much? So we'll use in this case ceiling function equal to ceiling this number comma 7, because we'll be minimum charging for 7 days. So 7. Okay, now so total will be, just press alt equal to, total will be 42, that is 42 into 100. So this is the way you can use the ceiling function. And how to bring this dollar? Just press shift control together and then press key 4, on which the dollar sign is also there. So this is the way you use the ceiling function. So when you use the even function, it basically rounds the number to the nearest even number, and when you use the odd function, so it rounds the number to the nearest odd number. So I know we have just run through these things very quite fast, and if you are having any doubts, you can again get back to us with any of the doubts. You know our email ID, you can always write it to us at neve.training@gmail.com. Now one very simple example I'll show you. I don't know, most of you people will be knowing it. Suppose these are the numbers and you have to add it up. So just use equal to sum tab, select the data, the first cell, then press shift, keep on pressing the top arrow key so that you can select the full range, close the brackets, press enter. This is the way you will add few numbers. Another way to add these numbers is just go over here, press alt equal to. Okay, you will get the desired result. Another way to do the same thing is select the numbers which you want to add, go to home tab, click on auto sum. You have various options like sum, average, count, max, min, so you can use any of them. Sum, so the result is 29. Excel will help you to put the formula. Okay, so this was just few basic things about rounding function and sum function, and just some little bit of explanation about the ceiling function. Now let's learn about max, min, large and small. Now suppose if this is the data you have, this is basically name of few students and their marks in some particular subject. Now suppose if you want to know what is the maximum marks being scored by any person in the exam, so basically we'll use the max function. It returns the largest value in a set of values. So equal to max tab, select the data, close the brackets. So 39 is the largest value in this set of data. Okay, now suppose if you want the minimum value, so what you will do, I'll just change this one only. So instead of this max, I'll put min. So minimum value is 12. So this is the way you use the max function. It returns the largest value in a set of values, and the other one is min function. It returns the smallest value in a set of values. So max and min is fairly simple. But now suppose if someone tells you you want the fourth largest value in the data, or maybe seventh largest value in the data, then you need to look at the data and only then you will be able to tell Okay, it will take some time so that you can figure out which is the seventh largest value or maybe fifth largest value in the data. But Excel also do have an answer for that. So for that we can use, if you want the kth largest number, this k can be 4, 3, 5, fifth largest, fourth largest, second largest. So it returns the kth largest number in a set of values. And when we talk about the small function, so it returns the kth smallest number in a set of values. We'll just learn how to use it. So for large equal to large, select the array, this is the data, comma, if you put 1, okay, just understand this thing, it gives you the largest value in the data. So you can verify this fact with max. The maximum or the largest value in the data is 39, which is matching with this. Okay, if you want the second highest or the second largest value in the data, just instead of this 1, just make it 2. So 37 is the second largest value in the data. Now suppose if you want the fifth largest value in the data, just make it 5. So fifth largest value in the data is 34. For your reference, we have also given an example like how to find the third largest value in the data. You can go through it. Now same is the case with small. So in order to find the seventh smallest number, so this is the data, and comma, seventh smallest number will be 36. There is some issue. Yeah, seventh smallest number. Yeah, first smallest number will be 12. Fifth smallest number will be 34. Okay, because number 1 is this. Then you have maybe this. Then third, fourth. Maybe this is fifth. Yeah, this is fifth. Then you have sixth, seventh, and eighth. There is also some tie between two numbers, so that's fine. So this is the way you will use the min, max, large, and small function. Okay. So this was just few things about all these functions. Now going further, we'll now learn about the rank function. Okay. Now this is the data which we'll be using in order to learn the rank function. Now suppose you have names and marks of few students and you want to rank them, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can be used for any of the calculation. Maybe you want to give them some prize or some medal, maybe in a race, if you can check out the based on the timings which they have done. So basically when we talk about the rank function, equal to rank, you have three, we say you have three things which you have to give. First, the number, okay, then the complete range, and third one is the order. Like if you see, there is a, you can either give 0 or you can either give, or you can give 1. So how does it matter whether you give 0 or 1? If you give 0 as the ref order, like I'll just explain you as well. Rank, can click over here. So number first you have to mention, then the complete range or the array or a list of numbers, then the order. So when you put 0, the rank in the list is sorted descendingly, and if you put any non-zero value, maybe 1, 2, whatever, it will rank in the it will rank the list in the ascending order. So in order to make it simple for you, like in this case we have put 0 as the reference at the end. So what it does, the largest number in this case is this, okay, so it takes this as rank number 1. So accordingly it ranks other things with respect to this. So ranks arrange from highest to lowest, where largest value is 1 and smallest value is 11 in this data says. If you make, instead of this 0, if you make it 1 at the end. So ranks are arranged from lowest to highest, where smallest value is 1 and largest value is ranked as maybe 11 or whatever, depending on the data. We'll just do it again. So equal to rank, press tab key, this is the number, comma, select the complete range, freeze it by clicking F4, comma, it is asking us ascending or descending. First learn descending, so equal to, close the brackets, enter. So this cell or these marks are ranked at number 9. Just drag it down. Okay, so this is the ranking which we got. Now if you want to rank in the reverse order, just select the data, go to the formula bar, instead of this 1 make it, instead of the 0 make it 1 and press Ctrl Enter. So your ranking will be reversed. So this was basically about the rank function. If you are having any doubts, you know what is our email ID and you can always write it back to us. Okay, now the next function which we'll be doing is average and median. So basically Excel makes it very easy for us to find the average value for a set of numbers. So in case of average, like what we'll do, the basic syntax is average, just the numbers, number 1, number 2, number 3, just select these numbers, so you'll get the average, that is 25.125. There's another way of doing average as well. So what you can do, first you can sum the numbers, sum. So sum of all these numbers is 201, and then you can ask it to count the number of students. Okay, now we have used a count function. So count function will calculate only the numbers, so it won't count this text. So 8 students were present, so your average will be this divided by this, which is 25.125. When we talk about the median, okay, see average many a times it can be misleading, because suppose you have one number as 100 and another number as maybe 2. Okay, so average will be 51, which is nowhere near both the numbers. So many a times what we do, we basically also identify the median value for a set of numbers. So basically if we order our range number from lowest to highest, the median would be the number that fall in the middle. And if we have an even amount of numbers, then Excel averages 2 middle numbers to generate the median. Now in this case the median value will be equal to median, just select the data which you have, complete data. So median value is 31. So 31 is the number, what we say, which is in the median. So against this only what we say, against this only all the numbers are skewed or nearby, it is near to 31 in simpler terms. You also have another function called as average A. Average A, like count A, counts this cell as well, and hence it brings down the average. So basically you can just have a look at it as well. We have written something over here. So the average function basically ignores all empty cells or text values If in the above range we had only 4 numbers, then Excel will add these values and divide them by 4. If such a behavior is not required, if we want even this cell to be considered, so then we can use average A as the formula, which counts all text cells as though they contain number 0. So this was regarding average and median, how to find average and median of a number. See, basically let me just again tell you, like during the course of this lecture, whatever we are telling you or whatever we are teaching you, it is just very basics. Okay, now once you are thorough with all the functions, all the formulas, how to do formatting, how to use pivot tables, how to use VLOOKUPs, then in our bonus lectures we'll supplement you with lots and lots of data, lots of worksheets which you need to fill in and practice so that you can get a very good grasp over various aspects of Excel. Okay, now let's learn about a very important formula in Excel 2007, which is average if and average ifs. Now this is our same old example which we are using. Again, name of few students, the year to which they belong, in what branch they have done their engineering, to which company they have been placed, in which department, what is the job location, what is the average CTC. Okay, now we want to know the average CTC of people placed in Mumbai. Okay, so we want the average of CTC. So simpler way, what you have to do, Mumbai, just select this data. So average is 450722, which is matching with this data. But in this lecture we have come over here to learn about average if, so we'll do it that ways only. So equal to average if, first we have to mention the range. Okay, so range is this. Okay, then we have to mention the criteria. The criteria is we want the average CTC of students placed in Mumbai. So Mumbai is the criteria. For Mumbai, this is the range because Mumbai is present in this data range. So comma, as it is a text, so we will put Mumbai, comma, then the average range which will be used to find the average. So the result is 450722. So this is the way you use the average function. Now suppose if you want to know the average CTC of students placed in the production department, so production only equal to 362,000, which is this. So now how to do it? By means of Excel. I think now you know it better. So equal to average if production as the criteria is available in this data range, so just select the data range, comma, start this production. See, just have a look at the syntax which we are using. So you have to use the same syntax when you are learning it or when you are using it in the field or in Excel sheets. Enter. So 362,000. So this is the way we use the average if function. So average if is basically sum divided by count. Sum if divided by count if. So you are adding few numbers based on certain condition and you are dividing few counts or the occurrence of certain numbers based on some condition, and then you are dividing them. So this is the way you use the average. Now difference between average if and average ifs is, in this case the criteria is only one, average in Mumbai, average in production department. So criteria is Mumbai as well, and in this case the criteria is production department. So only one variable is there. Now suppose if you have to use two variables, like in this case we want average CTC of computer students, those students who have done their engineering in computers and who have been placed in TCS. Okay, so just to make our job a bit easy so that you can learn it much better way, equal to, first we will use the filters and then we'll use again filters for TCS. Okay, so average will be 363472. We'll just check whether this is right or not. Yeah, the same value is coming. Now we'll just learn how to do it. So equal to average ifs. First, in this case, the syntax changes. First, we have to write the average range. So this is the average range. Then criteria range 1 is this, comma, computers. Criteria range 2 is, I think it is TCS, sorry, TCS. This, comma, TCS. Okay, so 363472. So this is the way you will use the average if and average ifs formula in Excel. Now the next topic which we will be learning about is the next function is the mode. So basically the mode function, it finds out the numbers which occur frequently in a particular list, like equal to mode like 56 is a number which is occurring frequently in this particular list, like 56, 56, 56. Now just suppose if instead of this 56, control F, find what? 56, find all. I ask Excel to replace 56 by maybe 67. Replace all. So even the mode value will change. Okay. So this is the way mode function works. Now we have also given a note that mode function also have few limitations. It ignores the text values and empty cells. So we cannot use it to get most common text entry. Now suppose you have names of few students, maybe who have and we want to find out how many students have written the test twice. So just based on their text or their name, we won't be able to use mode function in order to find out the students who have frequently sat for the exam. So basically it cannot be used to get the most common text entry. It returns error code not applicable if no value repeats at least twice, and if there is more than one value that repeats the same number of times, then you get the highest number value. Now just two more topics over here. First one is frequency. Now when we talk about frequency, it identifies to which category a number belongs. So basically frequency helps us to analyze numbers based on the way they are distributed within a group of other numbers. Like we have this data, and let's assume we want to distribute this data among these grades, like 0 to 30. Those people who have scored between 0 to 34, they should get fail as the grade, or they are in the fail grade. 35 to 50, D grade. 51 to 70, C grade. 71 to 100, B grade, and 91 to 100 is A grade. Now for each grade there is a maximum number, like in this case it's 34, in this case it's 50, in this case it's 70, in this case it's 90, in this case it's 100. Now if we have to use this function, frequency function, so what you have to do, so basically it distributes these numbers among these grades. The first step is find out the maximum value for each grade. Then use equal to frequency, press tab, select the data array. So this is our data array, comma, select the bins array. So this is our bins array. The maximum value is the bins array. Close the brackets. Don't press enter at this time. Okay. So this is the way you have to write the oh sorry, I think I have made some mistake. Let me Let me escape. Now suppose if we require these functions to be distributed among these categories or these grades, what you have to do, first select the data, or first select the cells which you will be requiring in order to distribute these values among these grades or these categories. Then use equal to, I have one sec. So this is the data, so this is the data range, so use equal to frequency data array, comma, maximum value for each category, close the brackets, don't press enter, then just press Control Shift and enter together, Control Shift and enter together. Okay, so this is the way our data will be distributed among all these bins or among all these grades. If your data changes, maybe this 23 becomes 67, so you will see a change in the value, or this 34 becomes maybe 78. So again there will be some change in the value. So frequency is very important if you have to segregate students between who have failed or who have scored first class or who have scored second class or distinction or whatever. Can tell, like people who have scored between 91 to 100 is only 2 students have scored above, is only 2 students have scored between 91 to 100. Now, so this was regarding few of the math functions. Now we'll be doing some general math functions. Okay, now basically the general math function, the first one which we'll be doing is over here is product. So equal to product, so it basically it multiplies, like suppose 2 comma 3, 2 comma 5, so result is 20. So 2 into 2 is 4, into 5 is 20, so which is the result of a product function. Now this is a number, see we have what we say, we have written some formula over here, and if you want to make this formula visible, just go over here and click and make an abstract. You can even see the formula. If you want to remove the abstract, go over here, delete, enter. Now we'll use the fact as the, what we say, it is basically used to calculate a factorial, which is a sequence of number starting at 1, each of which is multiplied together to arrive at the result. So equal to fact 3 is 6, which is equal to 3 into 2. Okay, so fact 3 is 6, which is 3 into 2. So equal to fact 6 is 720, which is 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, this is fact 6. If I just remove this thing, you get the same result. So result is the same. Now power. So for power we can do equal to power maybe 2 comma 3, result is 8. So it is also equal to 2 raised to the power maybe 3, the result is 8. So 2 into 2, 2 into 2 is 4, into 2 is 8. So this is power. Now next function is square root. Now if we use equal to sq rt, it returns the square root of a number. So square root of 25 is 5, of square root of 9 is 3. So this was regarding the square root function. Now when we talk about the quotient function, now suppose you have maybe with you 220 rupees, okay, and you want to have pizzas, and cost of per pizza is maybe 15 rupees. So how many pizzas you can have? So equal to quotient this comma this. So around 14 pizzas you can have. So for 14 pizzas will come for this into this. 210 rupees. You will have 10 rupees as balance. You can straight away divide it as well, but this is the way you use the quotient function. Now next one is the mod. Okay, so mod function is how much will be the balance. Like in this case, balance is this minus this, so 10 rupees. So if you use the mod function, mod, like it returns the remainder after a number is divided by a divisor. So this, sorry, somehow I just made some mistake in the formula. So tab equal to mod, this is a number and this is a divisor. So mod is 10, which is the money left if we buy around 14 pizzas. ABS is a very important function, because now assume that you have a list of maybe negative numbers and you want to use this in some particular formula or something like that. What you can do, you can use ABS, that is absolute. It will make your number as, it returns the absolute value of a number without changing its sign. So it will make your number as positive. So minus 5 absolute is 5, minus 8 is 18, and minus 45 is 45. Now another formula which we will be learning over here again is rand function. So basically rand function gives us a random fractional number that is less than 1 but greater than or equal to 0, like equal to rand, enter. Okay, so this is a random number which will keep on changing within some time. If I just press F9, it will get changed. Now rand, nothing I have put, enter, number has changed. Okay, so more than rand, I feel rand between is important, because rand between you can control. Like suppose rand between means basically it gives you random number between, it returns a random number between the numbers we specify. Now suppose in this case you can give a bottom value and the top value. Now suppose you want random numbers between 1000 and maybe 10,000. Okay, so it will help you generate random number between 1000 and 10,000. See the list. So all of these numbers are more than 1000 but less than 10,000. So this is the way you can make what we say, or you can generate random numbers. But the problem with this approach is these numbers will keep on changing. Now suppose if you want to use these numbers at some other location, just select the numbers which you want, copy, go to the cell and use paste special values. Then these values won't change. Like see, as soon as we what we say pasted these values, random values given over here between 1000 to 10,000 has changed again. Okay, so this is the we say problem with keeping these numbers, but nevertheless it's very useful when we are working with Excel. GCD basically means greatest common denominator. Now let's assume we have two numbers, maybe 12 and 8, and we want to find the greatest common denominator. So number 1 comma, alright, comma, and number 2. So greatest common denominator in this case is 4. So 4 is divisible by both the numbers. Suppose if you want to do the least common denominator, that is LCM. So LCM in this case will be 24. Okay, so basically this function answers the question, among all the numbers being processed by this function, what is the smallest number that you can divide them into all. For example, if we have 12 and 8, we can divide both numbers evenly into 24, which makes it their lowest common multiplier. Okay, so 24 is divisible both by 12 as well as by 8. So that is why it is the lowest common denominator. Now, when we talk about combine, so basically these are the combine and permute. Basically these are from the it helps us found the combination and permutations. Now, when we talk about combinations, okay, so now first let us do the permute, which is permutation. Now suppose you want to count how many possible ways you can draw 5 cards from a deck of 52 cards. Okay, so permute returns the number of permutations for a given number of objects that can be selected from the total objects. So permute, suppose if you say number is 52, the deck of cards, and number chosen is maybe 5. So this is the permutation for that. A whopping 311,875,200, because it counts every group of 5 cards as unique. Okay, so even if the difference is only a matter of card order, so in this case 1 2 3, card number 1 2 3 4 5 is different and 5 4 3 2 1 is different. Now suppose if we use the 52 cards and 5 cards we were drawing at one time, this is the result which we got after permute. Because suppose you have card like maybe A, B, C, D, E. So this number is different from E, D, C, B, A, because the card order is different. So that is why you are getting such a high number. Now assume we use the same thing with the combine. It returns the number of combinations for a given number of items equal to 52, comma 5. So result is 2598964, which is quite less than this. Okay. So basically we can see that permutations are far more plentiful than combinations. So in fact we can convert the number of combinations into the number of permutations by multiplying it by 5 factorial, which is a measure of how many different ways you can arrange the order of 5 different numbers. So basically if you use equal to this divide by this, result is 120, which is equal to fact 5, which means these 5 cards we can arrange it in 120 ways. Okay, if we are using also the ways those 5 cards can be arranged, that will be, then we have to use the permute function. And if we require, and if we assume that whether a number is A, B, C, D, E or E, D, C, B, A, it is considered as 1. So then we'll use combine function. So this was basically regarding the Excel math functions. So friends, hope you have enjoyed the lecture and you have got some idea about the various math functions which Excel has. So it was fairly a big lecture. So thanks a lot for your attention and hope to see you again in our next class.